up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. We are back for another season of Power, Season 3, Episode 1. Same stuff, different day. That ain't the title. That's how I feel about it, okay? First of all, let me give a shout out to TSF Entertainment. I will put the link in the description box. First of all, we predicted 90% of this episode. You gotta go back and look at our prediction video that we dropped before the season started. Then you gotta come back and catch our live reviews. But anyway, with that being said, let's go ahead and get to it. We start this episode off. We see where Tariq gave the engagement ring that he stole off of Mecca, that we assumed was for Monet, or was for Monet. I can't remember. But anyway, they show us how the ring went from Method Man to the fence to the auction to, we see this black woman coming to the auction and watch the ring being sold. White guy bought it, $5 million. So he clearly got money to burn. We see him taking his girl through Central Park. He gets down on one knee and he proposes. Well, next thing you know, the same black woman that we saw over at the auction rolls up on him and basically says, yeah, let me get that ring up off you. And of course he did what most of us would do. You just spent $4 million, $5 million on a ring. It was like, ma'am, excuse me. Then we see 2, 3, 4 black dudes rolling up with her, and they have these accents. So you're like, okay, they're from another country. I would assume some sort of an African country. It is a continent, so a country on the continent. Okay. And basically they were like, listen, she done asked you nicely. I suggest you give the ring up or this is about to be real ugly. Now, personally, I would have probably taken the hint. But of course, white boy ain't take the hint. He was like, listen, I'm going to need y'all to roll up off me before I call the police. Wrong move. Next thing you know, they done took the woman, because she already put the ring on her hand. They done took that woman, stretched her hand out, and old girl done pull a machete out, cut the whole hand off to get her ring back. And then, of course, they end up, pow-powing them. Now, listen. When somebody roll up on you in the dark and be like, let me get that ring up off of you, you probably just need to go ahead and get them that ring. But, okay. So, then we cut to moving in day down to the college. And we see Tariq packing up his room. And of course we see him finding pictures of, his sister and his grandmama and all of that. And Effie with him, he gets to the picture of him and Lauren, and Effie's like, what's up? What you looking at? So what we find out is that him and Effie been hanging out all summer. They've been kicking it all summer. And that Effie has officially transferred to Stansfield. And she's telling him, listen, I know me and you been cool, me and you been kicking it and everything, but, I'm going to need my space. Like, I don't want to just be known as, Tariq's girl. And he was like, what you talking about? He was like, I'm not going to try to change you into something you're not. Like, I knew who you were when I met you. I knew who you were when we started sleeping together. Like, you good. Like, I'm not, what are you talking about? And I thought it was kind of weird, too, because I was like, y'all been playing this cat and mouse game since y'all were at the other school together. Like, Tariq know what you give. He know what it is. So I thought that was a little weird, but I don't know if that was her way of just being able to move around without Tariq always being with him. But then it seemed like it was the other way around. Like, he was trying to move around without you, and you were like, where you been? Who you been with? How long you been there? Why did you go? Why you ain't take me? But anyway, that's later on in the episode. We'll get there later. So while they packing up, Braden's sister and mama come rolling up in there, and she's like, what you still doing here? Like, I know we gave you clear instructions to be about this room. This room belongs to, Braden's family. Our name is on the door. Our name is on the building. Why are you here? And the sister was like, Mom, you're being a jerk. It is not Tariq's fault that Braden got kicked out of school. None of this is on Tariq. That was on Braden. But, of course, she ain't trying to hear it. She blames Tariq for everything that happened to her precious son. And Tariq was like, it's all good. Like, I ain't even tripping. Like, let me go ahead and get up out of here. Now, he think it's only a matter of time before they give him another room assignment. But what we find out is that they low-key trying to put him out of school because they feel like he put some bad publicity on the school, and that everybody pretty much assumes that he did what he was accused of doing. He goes to the dean. He rolls up on the dean while the dean is schmoozing Tate's character, trying to get him to stay at the school teaching. Tate is running for Senate, and he was like, "We know that you have this Senate race, but we hope that you'll still have time to, teach your class at Stansfield." Well, that's when he finds out. So, of course, Tate steps in, tells the dean that you really have no reason to not allow Tariq to stay in school. He hasn't been convicted of anything, and until he's been convicted, like, what y'all doing is some bull hockey, and if you don't want me to blast you, you need to go ahead and give Tariq his room. And Tariq was like, "Yeah, I appreciate that, but I know you don't do nothing for free." And he kind of hit him with the wink wink, and you know it, and I'm gonna get that off you later kind of thing. Now back down to the Tejada house, Monet is sitting around feeling sorry for herself, watching judge shows, and everybody is trying to make her feel better, but like she ain't here for it. Diana trying to bring her food. Diana got the nerve to not understand why Monet is mad at her. She talking about something. "I don't understand why she's mad at me. I didn't do anything to her. I just told the truth." A truth nobody asked you for. She didn't ask for the truth. She was clearly, actively trying to keep the truth a secret. Nobody asked you to tell everybody who Zeke was. And she talking about something. "I didn't push Zeke away. Zeke left because of her lies." No, Zeke left because you exposed her lies. Like, I could definitely understand why she feel that way. Well, Method Man rolls up in there, Davis, and lets her know, "Listen, you have inherited Mecca's penthouse." And she was like, "What you mean?" He was like, "Well, he left everything to Zeke, and now that Zeke is gone, basically you are his next of kin, and you get the penthouse." And she was like, "Well, he had a whole bunch of money and a jet and everything else. What about that?" And he was like, "Well, the government has seized it. The only reason why the penthouse would come to you is because it's the only thing that he owned free and clear." Now, when they said it, that sounded a little funky to me, but I was like, all right, I ain't go to nobody's law school, so maybe that's how it worked. But we come to find out later that the government actually let her get the penthouse because they want to keep an eye on what's coming and going. We'll get to that later. Now, while this is going on, we see Braden down at the broker's firm. Pretty much what we said, that now Daddy's going to give him a job because he'd have been kicked out of school. And his brother works down there, and his brother is still an asshole. Dad is pissed off at him because Dad is like, "Not only did you get yourself kicked out of school, but you embarrassed the family," which I think they care more about him embarrassing the family than him getting kicked out of school. But they link him up with his uncle, who uncle gonna be a problem. But Uncle was telling Braden, "Listen, your father, aka my brother, he's a stick in the mud. Me personally, I think that course correct situation was genius. And honestly, when I was still at Stansfield, that's probably something that I would have done had I been around at the time. So for real, yeah, I mean, you admitting to it was probably the dumb move. You running it, not so much. And of course, everybody still believes, well, almost everybody still believes that Braden actually created course correct. So the uncle is basically telling Braden, "Listen, follow my lead, do what I tell you to do, and you'll be alright." Like, it is what it is. We find out that the uncle has a nice little pretty young black assistant, and I only say black because she black, all right. But I feel like her character is going to come into play at some point in this whole situation, let me put a pin in there. Let me rewind. We also found out that Tejada, the daddy Tejada, he done told Diana that he made arrangements for her to transfer to Stansfield, that he knows that that's where she really wanted to go. And she was like, "Well, that's sort of bittersweet. Like, it feels kind of weird for me to go there now." And he was like, "Listen, we're going to go ahead and make it happen. But it is a little expensive, so you're going to have to help pick up the slack." And she was like, "I'm down. I'm ready." So both your parents pimping you out, because listen, they can afford Stansfield. If y'all can afford to be riding around in Range Rovers and wearing the latest Louis, Gucci, Prada, and all that other stuff, you can afford the tuition down to Stansfield. But now all of a sudden, you need her to help pick up the slack, which is code for, "I'm gonna need you to move product down to the school. So you basically only put your daughter in the school for you to have a connect down to the college now that course correct is out of place. I said, y'all are just dirty. And poor Diana, you just dumb. And you just, what's the word I'm looking for? You just I don't know, a fool, child. I can't think of the word. But you just a fool for both of them. Between your mama wanting to pimp you out and between your daddy wanting to pimp you out. Like, you can't win for losing. Now, Monet told the boys that they could have the penthouse until she sells it. Because she was like, I'm going to sell that penthouse. But in the meantime and in between time, y'all can go live there however long it take me to get my ass off this couch and get back to business. So I guess you got a couple of good months in the damn penthouse. Which, of course, they're loving that. I mean, who wouldn't? Crazy, duh. So while all of this is going on, child, to make matters worse, who done rolled up on Tariq? Not Sax. Oh, shoot. Dang, not Sax. Oh, I was doing good with the names. What's his name, y'all? Not Sax. I keep wanting to say Sax because I know, but it's not Sax. Sax is the lawyer. Anyway. Stern. Stern. Stern's ex-husband, well, husband/ex-husband, the one that set up the shell company for Tariq to watch his money through course correct, he rose up on Tariq. And come to find out, him and Daddy Stern done fell out. And he said, yeah, my prenup wasn't as good as I thought it was. So basically, I'm going to need some money or I'm going to the police. So, of course, Tariq was like, listen, I'm broke. Like, I'm broke. You're going to have to give me time to get some money because, I ain't got it. And he was like, all right, cool. I'll give you 7 days to come up with something. I said, I knew then. I said, that was it right there. I said, I don't know. I didn't know when. I said, he ain't going to make it out this season. Now, I didn't know how long it was going to take him. But I said, he ain't going to make it out this season. You done rolled up on Tariq threatening to take him to the police. Do you not know that everybody that threatens to take Tariq to the police ends up, what? DEAD? Okay? So we get down to the penthouse. And, of course, we got a party going on, right? Now, Drew done showed up with his boyfriend thinking they was going to have a nice, quiet Netflix and chill kind of moment. But his brother then decided that he was going to have a party. They got naked women, they got men, they got drinks all over the apartment. And he is feeling some kind of way. But he ends up telling him, he's like, listen, we got business to handle. Like, Drew, you and your boyfriend can have a little situation later, but... like, this is the connect. We got to find a new connect. So we trying to basically wine them and dine them, show them a good time so we can get a deal. So Drew goes over there and they sit down to do business. And old dude ain't feeling it. Like, old dude is like, listen, I'm not impressed by naked women and drinks. Like, none of this is doing nothing for me. Basically, I know y'all need a new connect. He was like, y'all having a party in a dead man's apartment ain't impressing me. Y'all need a connect. So here's what it's going to be. Number one, I need my cash up front. And number two, I need 60% of the profit. And Drew was like, okay, now you tripping. Like, the money up front, okay, cool. But we ain't about to sit here and give you 60% of our profit. Actually, it wasn't Drew, it was the other brother. Drew was like, let's negotiate. All right, cool. The money up front and 30%. And dude was like, listen, I feel like y'all not really in much of a position to negotiate. So, those are my terms. That's how I feel. And when y'all are ready to do business, y'all give me a call. And so, of course, now Kane is like, what are we going to do? Like, we got to figure out a way, we got to figure out a way to make some money. Like, we don't have no product. We about to run out of product. And this dude basically got us over a barrel. So Drew was like, all right, well, yeah, I'm about to go over to my boyfriend's house, and Kane was like, where you going? Like, what do you mean? He was like, well, this ain't going to be resolved tonight, so I'm about to go Netflix and chill, and we can talk about this tomorrow, because what we going to solve tonight? So next thing you know, Brayden and Tariq then rolled up on Kane at the penthouse. Kane told him, did you come in through the back door? Did you come up through the service entrance? And they were like, yeah, like we followed your instructions, but what's up? And he was like, what's up? Y'all called me. And Tariq was like, you called me. And Brayden was like, listen, I called both of y'all because we got to get back in the game. Like, we need to get our money together. We need to get our product right. Boom, I'm ready to get back in the game. And both of them are just kind of looking at, and Brayden like, what? And Kane is like, listen, y'all are hot. Like, I'm not doing no business with y'all right now. Like, y'all are hot. So, if that's the case, then that's not going to happen. And Tariq is like, what you mean? Like, we need to, like, okay, Brayden might be hot, but, like, I'm still on campus. We can still make some stuff happen. Well, while that's going on, all of a sudden the lights go out. And the dudes from the park with the black lady from the park, they come rolling up in there. They put them down on their knees. They put guns to their head, and they like, listen, where's Mecca? What happened to Mecca? Well, come to find out, this woman, I think we found out her name is Nay. She come through there and she said, listen, Mecca was my fiance. He promised me this ring. The ring that she took up off the lady's hand. And he was also my connect. Or I was his connect, or whatever the situation is. She said, so I need to know why y'all in his apartment. I need to know what happened to him. And y'all need to start talking, or it's going to be a problem. Now, they got Rocky with them. Rocky was the chick that was rolling with Mecca last season. Y'all remember Rocky, right? She going to ask Rocky what happened to Mecca. Rocky was like, I don't know. I promise you I don't know. She was like, well, if you don't give me some answers, this is going to be a problem. I knew Rocky was done when they put the drop cloth in front of her. I said, well, baby, you might as well. Ain't no need you saying nothing now. They done put the drop cloth in front of you. It's a wrap. She messed around and said their name. They was like, okay, that's it. So, of course, that her. And they tell Brayden, Tariq, and Kane, listen, we don't have nothing but time and space. If y'all don't tell me what I need to know, it's going to be a problem. Well, they was thinking fast. And they basically told her, listen, we don't know what happened to Mecca. But we were Mecca's connect. We were working for Mecca, and we could work for you too. We could pick up where he left off. And she was like, okay, well, you can't really do for me what he could do for me because he was in good with the State Department, which means he kept us protected, and he made sure that, he kept the feds off our back. Can you do that? And they told us, yeah, we got lawyers in our back pockets, and we got judges, and we got this, and we got that. And so, dude that's with her was like, you really believe in this? Like, you really believe in what they telling you right now? She was like, well, hold on. Let's listen to what they have to say. She said, I tell y'all what. I'm going to give y'all a little trial time period. I'm going to let y'all move some of my product. And if it works, if y'all can do it well, then maybe we could do some business. But if not, y'all probably going to end up like her. And I still need to know what happened to Mecca. So next thing you know, we see them the next day down to the Tejada house, telling Monet and Daddy Tejada what happened. And of course, Monet is like, listen, I've been trying to get out the game. I don't understand how every time I try to get out the game, I get deeper and deeper in. Y'all figure this shit out, because I don't want no parts of it. So Daddy Tejada was like, listen, I guess we don't have no other choice. I mean, if she gonna kill y'all, I guess we gotta do what we gotta do. So next thing you know, we down at Stansfield, and we in class. We got a new teacher. Well, actually, before we get to class, Tariq makes a beat. He goes to see Davis, and he says, listen, this ring that I asked you to sell for me, and he shows him the article where the dude who bought the ring was killed in Central Park. And Davis was like, okay, another couple, they done got down to Central Park. And he was like, no. That's the couple that bought the ring that I asked you to sell. And he told him about the chick showing up with the ring and everything like that. He was like, so how about this? I'm going to need you on standby, because I'm really not sure how this is going to go. But that's really what, at the time, that was the best I could do to try to keep myself alive and keep us alive. And Davis was like, okay, cool. Well, your cash always clears. He said, nah, player. On this one, my silence and my discretion is my payment. Because you knee deep in this one. Because you sold that ring. So whatever you did led her back to me. Okay? And of course, who listening, trying to figure out what's going on? Sax. He got his trying to, hear what's going on, and he sees Tariq down there. Now, Sax is still working with his girlfriend, the DA, to try to prove that Davis is dirty and that Davis is crossing the line so they can get Davis on charges. So he already knee-deep in it, okay? He is knee-deep in it. Back down to Stansfield, Diana is moving into Tariq's old room with Braden's sister. And so they have a standoff, basically letting them know that they know the other one. Braden's sister was like, I know that you the Tejadas. And Diana was like, well, I know that you Braden's sister, so what's up? Like, Google work both ways. So I don't know if that's going to be good or bad, child, but I guess it's no other dorm rooms on the whole damn campus that they keep ending up in this room together, child. Anyway, moving on. We get to class. We got a new professor that done took over. It seems like it's a whole new class, though. But once again, my girl, light-skinned Keisha, was there. How Diana get in this class? So Diana is in the class. Now, remember, this is supposed to be an advanced honors class. Here go Diana. You just transferred in last week. The woman said 700 people asked to be in this class. She only picked 20. How you make the cut? And then here go Effie. How Effie get in here? For this to be such an elite program, it seemed like they just let anybody in. Now, we got another new character that we got to keep our eye on, too. The TA. Now, the TA, they had, how they always have the little conversation where they're like, they talking about, and this always connects back to the theme of the episode. So this was about, perceptions and basically when you think about America, what are the tenets of America? What are the values of America? And so Keisha was like greed, and then they went from there. So they, so the TA kind of threw in there about, yeah, but this is the world for, doesn't your freedom, because one of the girls said freedom, and he was like, well, but doesn't your freedom depend on the color of your skin and your socioeconomic status, which isn't wrong. But then they got to talking about Zeke, not Tariq, Zeke. And of course, Diana and Tariq was ready to get all upset. But the lady was like, listen, at the end of the day, Tariq went from school hero to scorned lover / suspected, murderer to being gunned down. Like, and he has no redemption story because he's not here to tell his story. And so Tariq was like, well, how do you change perception? And she was like, there's no way to change perception until somebody finds a way to change the narrative. Well, that's kind of the same thing that Tate told Tariq. Like, listen, I got you back on campus, but you're going to have to figure out something to change people's perception of you. You're going to have to figure out a way to change the narrative. If not, you're going to always be, the dude that got away with, murder. Okay? Child, y'all know these power reviews be long. But like I said, we got to keep our eye on this TA because the TA actually ends up showing up at the memorial flirting with Diana. And I'm not sure. Something with him we're going to see. I don't know if he innocent, just an innocent, I see you cute flirtation, or if it's deeper. With power, child is usually always deeper. Now we go back down to the office with Daddy. Braden is there. They, with his brother and the other colleagues. Child, they talking about getting high. They snorting coke and everything. Braden forgot some paperwork he needed for the meeting. He ended up leaving, and who was sitting at his desk? Old boy's husband, ex-husband, child. Damn, why I can't never remember nobody's name? But y'all know who I'm talking about because I just said his name 2 minutes ago, child. Now he playing both sides against the middle because you done already rolled up on Tariq, telling Tariq you need some money. Now you rolling up on Braden, telling him the same thing. And so, then we see Kane talking to Effie, basically letting Effie know that Tariq is trying to cut her out of the business. Well, back when they were trying to figure out who was going to be selling and who was going to get back in the game, Tariq was telling Kane, don't worry about Effie. Like, I'm trying to keep Effie out of this. Don't you worry about Effie. So Kane has basically told Tariq, she the only one I trust. Like, out of all of y'all, she the one I trust the most. So he rolls up on Effie and lets Effie know, look, your boy trying to cut you out. Now, he's trying to play Effie against Tariq. Now, I'm going to give Effie credit. To his face, she was like, we good. We solid. That's my man. Don't worry about Don't worry about my relationship with my man. Don't worry about our situation. We good. But he definitely put a bug in her ear. Then we see Davis rolling up on his brother's doctor. Long story short, his brother dying. And there is a clinical trial that his brother is eligible for. But he can't do it while he in jail. So now, of course, Davis is putting the screws on Sachs to accelerate the appeals process to get his brother out of jail. And Sachs is trying to figure out, that's when he's with the DA trying to figure out how to get why is this so important to Davis, and he got the file, but the file is redacted and all of that. Then he asked and Davis asked Sachs, and then Sachs asked the DA, who's sitting on Mecca's penthouse, because that's the other thing Tariq told Davis too. Something's going on with Mecca's penthouse. Like, it ain't as free and clear as you think it is, because somebody's watching it, because Kane had us using the back door and everything else to get in there. So he asked her, and we'll get to that in a minute about who she asked. But while this is going on, Braden then rolled up on Kane and basically asked Kane to take care of what's-her-face's husband / ex-husband. And Kane was like, I ain't doing that, but I will. Like, basically, they end up going back and forth. And Kane finally was like, listen, I ain't going to do it, but I'll go up there with you while you do it. Like, I help you do it. And he said, listen, this ain't your first, kill. Didn't you take care of Lauren? And, of course, Braden didn't take care of Lauren, so he had to play it off and was like, yeah, but, I mean, this is different. He was like, yeah, she was actually your friend, and you were able to handle it. This is a dude that's extorting you that you don't even rock with like that, and you can't do it? Now, while they downstairs arguing about going into the hotel handling him, Tariq actually is up in the room. Tariq offers him an opportunity. Tariq says, listen, I tell you what, I'll give you the opportunity to make some money rather than me pay you a lump sum. And dude was like, yeah, no. He was like, why would I trust you? He was like, my ex and already told me who your daddy was, that he was just a murdering drug dealer, and you really are about the same. So why would I put myself in a position to do business with you? And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't really feel like dude said anything that was all that deep. But whatever he said, it must have hit Tariq in the wrong way. Because next thing you know, Tariq done picked up the steak knife and he done stabbed the dude. Well, just as he's standing there with the knife in his hand, who come in the door? Braden and Kane. So now they sitting there like, what you do? What's going on? Oh my goodness. Now here's the part that I thought was stupid. Stern. That's his name. Stern. Here's the part that I thought was stupid. Tariq sat there and told them that Stern, he stole money from Stern, and Stern thought he was overseas because he looking for him. Why not clean up and just leave everything there? Because if Stern is looking for him, they're just going to assume that if he stole from Stern, like, if nothing else, it's going to fall back on Stern and not y'all. Now, other than the fact that they got Tariq, I'm sure, on camera coming into the hotel. But hell, that don't change. Just because you get rid of the body, it don't change the fact that they saw you walk up in the damn hotel. Anyway, the three of them, they say we got to get rid of the body, and they end up carrying the body up out of there. I said, if there's one thing Tariq going to do, Tariq going to find the body. But anyway, we get down to the DA's office, and the DA, Blanca, comes rolling up into the DA's office talking about why do you have your detective sitting on Mecca's penthouse? Well, come to find out, the detective, the detective that made a mess of the case last year with Zeke, he down there taking pictures of Mecca's penthouse. And of course, the DA don't know nothing about it, but she sort of plays it off. And Blanca is like, listen, so you the one that blew the case against Tariq last year. And she was like, yeah, you the one that blew the case against Tariq, his mama, and his daddy. So they kind of, going back and forth. And Blanca says, listen, stay out my way, because I'm working my case. Like, Mecca was my CI, and she was like, oh, so you're the reason why they got to keep the penthouse, so you could keep an eye on who's coming and going. She was like, that's actually pretty smart. So she said, listen, I'm really trying to build a case against Tariq. I'm really trying to build a RICO case. I have a CI. And as soon as she said she had a CI, I said, I knew it. That damn Effie. Now, I'm thinking that the CI is Effie. I could be wrong, but that's who I think the CI is. Neither here nor there. And they basically talking about, she said, well, do you have enough pull? Sullivan is asking Blanca, do you have enough pull to help me get a joint task force so we can try to create this RICO? And Blanca was like, why would I do this? Like, you totally blew the case. Why would I do business with you? And she was like, because, like, I can make a case. Like, I can make this case. I got a CI. Blanca was like, you really got a CI? You really got somebody that's in good with them? She was like, yes. She was like, all right, well, I'll see what we can do. And I knew then. I said, number one, it's Effie. And number two, Lauren ass ain't dead. But I always questioned whether Lauren was dead anyway last year. But that's okay. Neither here nor there. Back over to the school. We see Tariq getting ready. They having a memorial service for Zeke, right? So here's the thing. Diana planned and did this whole memorial service for Zeke to do what? Change the narrative so that they could end on a good note and leave a good memory in people's minds about Zeke, right? Same thing with Tariq. Tariq spoke at the memorial service, and he gave this great speech about Zeke's legacy and believing the worst about somebody and people being innocent until proven guilty and all of that. So again, what is Tariq doing? Changing the narrative. This was actually very smart on Diana's part and Tariq's part. So Effie is talking to Tariq about letting her in the game and you don't have to keep me out. And he's like, listen, I'm trying to protect you. And she was like, what are you talking about? I'm not Lauren. And he was like, what you mean? She said, you keep beating yourself over the head about Lauren, but I'm not Lauren. I can protect myself. I'm not going to get myself in trouble. And she was like, she was like, it's not your fault that she died. He was like, don't you get it? That's just it. There was nothing I could do to protect her. So the best thing I can do is keep you out of it. And of course, she ends up convincing Tariq to let her in the game. So they go through the whole memorial service. I ain't gonna go through all that. But that's when we see the T.I. flirting with Diana. We see that Monet was there, but Monet wasn't here for it. They retired Zeke's number. Monet is outside crying. Tariq goes to her after he gives his little speech, and she says, you gotta let me know, like, you know, I need to know what happened to Zeke. Like, you gotta tell me what happened to Zeke. She was like, Lorenzo is saying he working on it, but he ain't bringing me nothing. You gotta promise me, Tariq. You gotta promise me. Now, on a side note, the new teacher and Tate got a pass. We're gonna see how that plays itself out. But they have a little pass, honey. I said, okay, we see this. Okay, they was a little flirting and everything. Now, after the memorial service, Tariq, Braden, Kane, and Effie, they go to the meetup to find out about, you know, get the product to move. Baby, why them Africans then gave them a whole warehouse full of product? And everybody is like, how in the hell are we going to move this much product? And Tariq was like, we ain't got much of a choice. We going to have to figure this out. They got enough product to supply the whole state of New York. I don't know what they're going to do about that. But anyway, that's where the episode ends. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace. How y'all let me forget the part about Lauren? So we see Sullivan rolling up to a house. And it looks like it's her house because there's pictures of her like graduating from college and stuff. And baby, she roll up in the house. And who is standing in the house but Miss Lauren? But here's the part that's interesting. And I know half of y'all not going to see this because I had to add it at the end of the video. My bad. But listen, I don't think nobody know Lauren is there. I don't think this is, well, no, there were other police officers there guarding the house, so I shouldn't say that. But I felt like this wasn't like official because why she using her own house as a safe house? But I don't know, maybe she just don't trust nobody. But neither here nor there, baby. Lauren is there, and Lauren was like, how long do I have to pretend to be dead? I don't know, y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think. My bad. I can't believe I forgot that part of the damn episode. But it was all the way at the end, child. I forgot. Anyway, let me know. Peace.